All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a wild social media storm that somehow starts with a simple ad for blue jeans and ends with some pretty serious accusations of Nazi propaganda. Seriously, let's get right into it.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? It sounds like a totally impossible jump to make. But that's what this is all about. We're going to break down exactly how this campaign for denim completely spiraled into this huge, heated debate about history, about language, and, what was really intended.
You see, this whole firestorm really just boils down to one single slogan. But that slogan was seen in two, let's just say, radically different ways. For some people, it was a totally clever pun. But for others, it felt like a dog whistle with some really sinister historical echoes.
And it all kicked off right here. On July 23rd, the actress Sydney Sweeney drops this tagline for her new campaign with American Eagle. You look at it, and on the surface, it seems like a pretty simple, maybe even kind of cute play on words.
And boom, here's the split. Was this just a harmless little pun, linking fashion with genetics? Or was it what critics immediately called out? A message that was deeply tone-deaf, especially coming from a blonde, blue-eyed actress that brought up the really ugly history of eugenics.
And that second interpretation, man, that is what just exploded online. The criticism wasn't just fast, it was fierce, and it created an immediate social media firestorm. The reaction was just so immediate and so intense. We're not talking about people being just a little annoyed here. They were genuinely shocked. I mean, like this user said, the ad wasn't just kinda bad, it was history book level bad. That's a pretty strong reaction.
And then, really quickly, the criticism got way more specific. People started connecting the ad's weird vibe, as they called it, directly to fascism and to Nazi propaganda. And honestly, that comparison is what would come to define this whole thing. This comment right here, it just perfectly sums up the heart of the criticism. See, for them, it wasn't just about the phrase good genes on its own. It was about who was saying it, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman. And for the critics, that combination was just an undeniable, unmistakable echo of Nazi ideology.
And a story has really hit the big time when it jumps from just social media users to A-list celebrities. Lizzo cleverly flipped the ad's message, while Doja Cat just straight up mocked it on TikTok. This kind of celebrity ridicule basically poured gasoline on the fire, pushing the whole thing from a niche internet fight right into the mainstream. But here's the twist. While that online backlash was incredibly loud, it definitely wasn't the whole story. A totally different reaction was happening at the same time from her fans, yeah, but also from a very, very surprising place. The stock market.
So on the other side of this, you have Sydney Sweeney's fans. And they were just confused. They were all over the comments saying, "What are you talking about? It's just a clever pun. She has nothing to apologize for." To them, the outrage was totally blown out of proportion. And they were bluntly telling critics to log off and, please go touch grass.
And then there's the money. Right in the middle of what looks like a total PR nightmare for American Eagle, their stock price went up. A lot. We're talking a jump of over 10%. And that's really the central puzzle of this whole story. The online outrage didn't just fail to hurt the company. It looks like it might have actually helped it. Okay, so you've got critics furious, you've got fans defending, and you've got the stock price rising. So how did the brand and the star right in the middle of it all actually respond? Well, the answer is in what they did and what they didn't do. This timeline here is pretty revealing of their strategy. You have the launch, then the backlash starts, and then notice this pivot. On July 27th, new ads from the same campaign start to appear, but Sydney Sweeney isn't in them. It seems like a pretty clear attempt to quietly back away from the face of the controversy before they had to say anything official. So when the official statement finally did come out, it was just a masterclass in corporate PR speak. Notice the wording here. It's very careful. There's no apology, just a firm clarification. They say the word jeans 3 times just to hammer that point home. It's a classic move. Don't apologize for the controversy, just pivot right back to the product. And through all of this, the backlash, the defense, the stock jump, the corporate statement,
Maybe the most significant part of the aftermath is this. Sydney Sweeney, the person at the absolute center of this whole debate, has said nothing, not a single word. She has yet to publicly respond.
So, after all the dust has settled, after the outrage, the defense, the corporate spin, what are we supposed to make of all this? What does a fight over a simple jeans ad really tell us about, well, the world we're living in right now?
Ultimately, this whole wild ride brings us to a really complicated, really modern question. In our age of instant online reaction, where exactly is the line between a harmless, clever pun and a genuinely harmful message? And who gets to decide what a brand meant to say versus how their message was actually heard? And maybe most importantly, who gets to draw that line? Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.